Hello, welcome to the 2018 debates based on the gubernatorial race in the state of New York.
The election is on Thursday, September 13th. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
You can find your polling site and a preview of the ballot at nyc.pollsitelocator.com.
On your ballot, there will be the governor. There will also be lieutenant governor, attorney general, and assembly members. In addition to potentially judges, we have assembly district leaders and state committees, so lots of things on your ballot to look at.
We have rigorously fact-checked the show so you can make an informed decision on September 13th.
Let's get on with the show. Woo! Commander-in-Chief of the New York Military and Navy, communicating your priorities to the legislature, receiving an annual salary, granting reprieves, commutations and pardons, and approving or vetoing bills from the legislature. So, bakers, you have until September the 13th to finish your cakes. On your marks, get set, bake!
Cake is a family favorite. I started with a recipe passed down from my father, the popular former governor, Marsh Cuomo. But I've also been putting my own spin on cake since I first was elected governor in 2011.
All right, so tell us what specific ingredients go into a Governor Andrew Cuomo cake?
Well, Marcia, I like to include civil rights and criminal justice reform, a dash of gun safety, women's equality, support to the LGBTQ community, educational opportunity for all, a healthier New York, and protecting New York's environment.
Okay, that sounds good, but I'm not seeing, modernization or repair of the MTA on your table. So can you talk to me about that?
Well, I do reference improving public transportation, and I would love to add fixing the MTA in my cake, but that would be impossible. I want to make a cake that is realistic, that everyone can swallow.
All right, Andrew. Now, I have heard speculation about your White House ambitions. So, can you promise the voters of New York, right here, right now, tonight, that if you win re-election, you won't try to bake a president's cake, and instead, you'll spend the next 4 years tending to this governor's cake?
Yes, 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 and double yes.
So, you're not baking a president's cake?
No, I'm making a governor's cake.
So just to be clear, I want to be clear, you promise to tend to this cake for 4 more years if you're re-elected.
is if God strikes me down. Otherwise, I will tend to this governor's cake for 4 more years.
All right. Very good. Carry on. So let's take a look at Ms. Nixon's cake. Hello there. Now, Ms. Nixon, you've been best known as an extraordinarily successful, talented, respected actor, but many New Yorkers have asked this over and over again, why are you baking a governor's cake? And what, in your experience and background, should give the voters confidence that you can bake for a state of 20 million people and a budget of almost 170 billion? How much experience do you really have in the kitchen?
Well, thank you, Marcia. I am so happy to be here. I am a lifelong New Yorker. I am a New York public school graduate. I'm a parent of 3 public school children. And I'm somebody who's been fighting for LGBTQ and women's rights and abortion rights, and most especially for better funding and more equitable funding for New York schools for the last 17 years. And that's one of the main reasons that I'm baking. Because New York has the 2nd most unequal education system when it comes to funding in the entire country. And I'm not an Albany kitchen insider like Governor Cuomo over there. And I think that experience doesn't mean that much if you're not actually a good baker. I don't have professional baking experience myself, but I know what makes a governor's cake taste good.
All right, so you know what makes a governor's cake taste good. Tell me a little bit about all these very strong flavors you've got laid out there.
Sure. I'm baking a Governor Nixon cake, and it's a more equitable cake than the kind we've seen from Governor Cuomo over there. So my cake includes a hashtag Schools Not Jails education plan, a plan to hashtag fix our subway, a single payer healthcare, reproductive freedom control, universal rent control.
Wow.
Economy for
Okay,
all,
sorry, I'm just gonna pause 1 second. This seems like a really expensive cake you're baking. So is the state of New York going to be able to afford a Governor Nixon cake?
Yes.
Okay.
No. It's simply not realistic with our current state budget. She would have to significantly raise taxes on working class New Yorkers.
Okay, so that
We would pay for this with congestion pricing, a pollution tax, a millionaire's tax.
This is real life. She lives in a world of fiction, Sex in the City. I live in a world of facts. She doesn't understand how a governor's cake comes together. The governor's cake has to serve 20 million people, and not just in New York City. I was Secretary of HUD. I served as New York Attorney General. I have been baking governor's cake since 2011. I was an apprentice to my father who baked extremely popular cakes for 11 years. She is simply not prepared to bake this cake.
Oh, I certainly am. I have been a long-time activist for public schools, for funding, and that means organizing rallies with legislators, shepherding campaign for fiscal equity through, and all this prepares me to bake the cake New York needs and deserves.
excuse me. I'm not coming out of these interviews really craving either of these cakes, but anything can happen before the 13th. So, finish those cakes!
Yeah, of course, clap. Yes, please clap. Yes, clap. Thanks for asking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the unavoidable delay.
I'm running for governor. Can I count on your vote?
Sure.
No. Andrew Cuomo stole hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA budget for his pet projects. He used the MTA like an ATM, and we see the results. He's had 7.5 years to avoid this entirely avoidable crisis in our subway system. And he has done next to nothing. Why would the next 4 years with him be any different?
This is Canal Street. Next up, Spring Street. And did you know that in March 2016, Mr. Cuomo's administration had the MTA spend $4.9 million of the money that they owed the state to 3 state-run ski resorts that were struggling after a warm winter.
See?
Huh.
Hello, I'm Andrew Cuomo, and I'm running for re-election. Can I have your vote?
What is happening?
So the difference between me and Andrew Cuomo is he's the one who broke the subway and I'm the one who's going to fix it.
The problem is much bigger than the MTA. It's actually worse than the MTA. We have a crumbling infrastructure in this state. We have a crumbling infrastructure in this country. President Trump, he said he was going to fix it with the $1.5 trillion plan, and he didn't.
Yeah, but I just care about the MTA.
So, on the MTA, you're really referring to the New York City Transit Authority, which is the subway system. It has been declining for decades. It is 600 miles of track, 40-year-old subway cars, 100-year-old switches, which would have been doused by Hurricane Sandy. We need a massive investment. I appointed Andy Barford. It's $33 billion. It is a shared state and city expense, Marcia.
My name's not.
No. And I need the city and the state to both fund it, and we need congestion pricing. Congestion pricing, which would be the long-term funding solution.
This is Spring Street. The next stop will be Westport. Uptown C&E trains are currently experiencing delays because of a signal malfunction at 14th Street. Fun fact, some of these signals date back to the 1940s. MTA's current timeline for signal repairs is to update half of the signals by 2034. But no need to worry, we'll be moving before then. Thank you for your patience.
Good thing we now have the most aggressive rebuilding program in this state's history.
Okay, great.
Oh, the mayor! Good morning, Mr. Mayor. So good to see you.
Hi, Marcia.
My name's
Mayor.
Governor. I'm sure you're all wondering who I'm endorsing.
Is there like a conference in town? Am I in the right? Go to a different car? What do you guys do?
Listen, no, listen, we don't want your seat, we want your vote.
We are now delayed because of train traffic ahead of us.
Well, I hope whoever's elected governor, they release the funds to get this train moving. So,
Maybe Cuomo was hoping my supporters won't be able to make it to the polls on time.
As I've already said, the state cannot fund the MTA without sharing with the city. If the city will do 50-50, I will do that. But otherwise, the state
runs
doesn't have the
MTA,
money.
and Andrew knows this. I know he's really bad at it. Every New Yorker does. But he can't just pretend it's not his fault because it's election time.
It is not my fault. Yes, it is.
Look, all right, this article I'm reading right now actually says the MTA is run by a board of directors. 6 members and the chairperson are recommended by the governor directly, but 4 are recommended by the mayor, and 7 are recommended from other parts of New York State. These people are then appointed by the governor. So while the governor and mayor have some control over who is selected, unlike the leaders of state-run agencies, these board members cannot be replaced until their 6-year terms are up. They do not report directly to the governor. They do not. They have the responsibility, though, of approving, quote, fare increases, toll increases, it says here, service changes, and a 5-year capital improvement plan. Shouldn't you guys already know this? I mean, honestly, none of it even matters. if we don't know what we're going to get additional funding for to do these upgrades you're talking about.
Marcia's right. The discussion of funding the MTA is intensely difficult, and solving it requires a lot of different parties coming together to make a collective solution. The MTA has built up about $40 million in debt to fund all the capital projects, the repairs, everything. Whoever wants to fix the MTA has to be bold enough to take on the millions of dollars of debt, plus the cost for future updates. Who is ready to be the solution?
This is my stop.
Oh, me too. I think I'll stick with my taxpayer-funded airplanes.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
What's my stop? This is theater magic.
Gubernatorial debate, sponsored by CBS2, WLNY TV 1055, and Hofstra University.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system
controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Stop lying?
Yeah. As soon as you do it. Let's do a few facts, okay?
The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system is
controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Stop lying?
Yeah. As soon as you do it.
Let's just do a few facts, okay?
The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system
has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
As soon as you do it.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system
is controlled by the state in 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Is it lying?
Yeah. As soon as you do it.
Let's just do facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City.
The subway system.
Excuse me. Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Yeah.
As soon as you do it.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway
has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
As soon as you do.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system.
The MTA has been run by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, as soon as you do.
Okay, let's just do some facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system. The MTA has been controlled by the state since 1965. Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop lying? Yeah, when you do. Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The
MTA has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, when you do.
Let's just do the facts. Okay, the subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system.
The MTA has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, when you do.
Okay, so let's just do some facts, okay? So the subway system is owned by New York City. The subway, can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, as soon as you do.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system.
The subway is owned by the states in 1965.
Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah. As you do.
Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway system is owned
The
by...
MTA has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, like as soon as you do.
Let's just do a few facts. Let's just, the subway system has been
Let's
controlled.
just do a few facts.
by-
The subway system
Let's just
is
do a
owned by
few
New York
facts,
City.
okay?
Let's just do a few facts.
No, the MTA has been controlled by the state.
Can you stop interrupting?
You stop interrupting me. You stop interrupting. You stop lying.
Can you stop lying?
We've seen you on the news tonight at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been watching the New York Democratic Gubernatorial today. A reminder, this year, New York's...
Mr. Bill. My name is Sandra. I just turned 8 years old today, and anyways, I was out taking a walk, and I saw you on these steps. What are you doing here?
Hi there. I'm working to bring the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Oh, gee, that sounds complicated. I guess you'll have to convince the Democrats?
Yeah, we're all about the fight for 15. We love you, Bill.
Yeah.
Well,
hey.
and the Republicans.
Harumph. I guess we'll do it. But with some adjustments.
Oh, and the IDC.
Now, what's the IDC?
I'm Cynthia Nixon, and I'm a person, not a corporation. The IDC is a group of renegade Democrats who are known as the Independent Democratic Conference. So, they are a group of 8 Democrats, and they work with the Republicans to give the Republicans all the power in the state Senate. So even though we technically have more Democrats in the Senate, the Republicans run it.
Oh gosh, that sounds so problematic.
Oh, don't worry, Sandra, the IDC isn't a problem anymore. Oh, I'm Andrew Cuomo, and I got the leaders of the mainland Democrats and the IDC get in a room together, and now they all get along.
I in 2014, when you were running for re-election the first time, the IDC disappeared, and then as soon as you won, the IDC came back together again in cahoots with the Republicans.
I'm getting dizzy.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Bill. You'll just end up being a $15 wage to folks in New York City by January 1st of 2020, but for folks upstate, they'll only get $12.50 an hour by 2021. See, and there's no time frame for them to even get to $50 an hour. That's called compromise.
If we were in charge, we wouldn't have had to compromise. It would have been $50 an hour for everyone.
If you were in charge, we might not have passed anything at all.
But aren't those just speculative conclusions?
By moving to a $15 statewide minimum wage, New York is showing the way forward on economic justice. These policies will not only lift up the current generation of low-wage workers and their families, but ensure fairness for future generations and enable them to climb the ladder of opportunity.
As the New York Times reported 6 months before you announcing your support for the fight for 15, you deemed the rate too high for fast food workers and wanted to compromise at $10.50 an hour.
This seems like a fight between the two of you. Maybe Mr. Bill and I should just go on a walk somewhere else.
Wait! There's an election on Thursday. I need your vote. Don't vote for her. She's the corrupt person.
What?
Let me tell you.
Please.
In March 2018, one of Cuomo's most long-term and trusted aides, Joe Percoco, was found guilty on 2 counts of conspiracy and 1 count of bribery on charges he'd sold his influence in state government for hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes and personal profit.
My ideals were violated by someone I knew for a long time. That is personally painful. However, we must learn from what happened and put additional safeguards in place to secure the public trust. Anything less is unacceptable.
Ha! Percoco was his most trusted advisor, and he is heading to prison. Now, either Joe Percoco was doing something that the governor expected him to do and advised him to do, or his right-hand man was doing something under his nose, and he had no idea about it.
What about you? You donated to the mayor of New York City to get favors from your friend.
I called in to get helicopters to stop flying over Central Park when free Shakespeare in the Park was going on at the Delport Theater.
Being involved with state corruption on one hand and calling your mayor for 1 or 2 favors on the other, that sounds bad. But, and I'll remind you, I'm only 8 years old, what sounds kind of worse than the other?
Listen, these are big, complicated issues for adults only.
But, Bill, don't think we forgot about you. All little future progressive bills that aspire to be you won't stand a chance if Cuomo gets reelected, because we have no idea if the IDC is actually dissolved, and he surrounds himself with convicted, corrupt people.
She doesn't even know how to get a bill through Congress. She's never even been a politician.
I don't know. I'm just a bill.
you delay the fare hike and pick up the shortfall?
I absolutely would, but Governor Cuomo knows the MTA is controlled by the governor. It is a state agency, and to pretend anything else is completely disingenuous. The reason that the subway is in such bad shape, yes, we have had, it preceded Andrew Cuomo, but he stole hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA budget for his pet projects that have nothing to do with it. He used the MTA like an ATM, and we see the result. He has had 7.5 years to avoid this very avoidable crisis in our New York City subway, and he has done next to nothing.
Governor,
why would the next 4 years be any different?
Governor, would you like to respond to that?
My opponent lives in the world of fiction. I live in the world of fact. Let's just do a few facts, okay? The subway system is owned by New York City. The subway
MTA has been controlled by the state since 1965.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah. As soon as you do. The